Hey everyone, my name is Brandy Carter and I am the owner of Lindough Bakery, formerly Clemson Confectionaries. I wanted to make this video to highlight things that have been going on, and I also wanted to share some news at the end. I think that over the course of owning this business for 5 years, one of the most amazing things to me was how honest I was able to be with everybody on social media, and just the outpouring of love and people who could relate to me that came back from that. And so when it came time to make this video, I knew that I had to be honest and share with you what's been going on. So a lot of you have been with me since the very beginning. You've watched me grow from this tiny little Aspen Heights apartment into this humongous fan favorite, town favorite bakery that was just astronomical. And the feeling of knowing that we were a neighborhood favorite and we were at the center of everyone's birthday parties. Holy cow, that is an amazing feeling. To everybody whose wedding cake I got to make, and just little celebrations here and there for breakups and welcoming new children into their life. Thank you. Thank you for all of that. I don't think I'll ever be able to say thank you enough to choose me to be at the centerpiece of all of your, most of your happiest moments in life. So this video really stems from the closing of Clemson Confectionaries, and I kind of just want to go through that and share this part of my life that is hard to share, but I also feel like there's somebody out there who may be going through the same thing as me. And if I don't reach 10 people, maybe I'll reach one person. And I just want you to know that anxiety and depression is a real thing, and everything is going to be okay. Life isn't always easy. It's actually really hard most of the time. And my dad always used to tell me growing up, you can't always get what you want. And that's just a fact of life that's going to reign true until you're 95 years old. And he is sure as heck right. Can't always get what you want. But I wanted to tell you this story. And we're gonna start with the day that Clemson Confectionaries closed, and my life was kind of rocked to its core. So after closing the door and locking it for the last time, I think reality started to sink in. Chris and I lost all financial security. We were on food stamps. We had 4 dogs and we had to give away 2 of them. And I think that was probably the hardest thing I've ever had to do, aside from closing the bakery. I cried about that for the longest time, and I felt like I was letting go a piece of my heart. But rest assured, they are with the most perfect family in the whole wide world. I do still miss them every day, but they are in great hands and they are so loved, and I couldn't have asked for anything better than that. And after that, things just started to get a little worse, and I started to feel very worthless, and like all my accomplishments were null and void, and that I wasn't sure if my life would ever amount to anything after Clemson Confectionaries. And I just started to sink into this deep hole. I wasn't able to leave my house for almost all of January. I was depressed. I was lashing out at people that I love. I was angry and mad and bitter because I didn't understand why something I worked so hard for was suddenly taken away from me. And I didn't understand God's plan. And I think I was just really angry and hurt that I had spent every last resource and every last dollar trying to open this amazing place that just felt like I didn't have long enough. I felt like I didn't get to do everything that I wanted to do. And it was really sad. Eventually I did get help and I spoke to my doctor, but all of these things are real things that, are going on behind the scenes and that people go through. And I was going through it. Oh my goodness, I was in the biggest hole, the biggest, deepest depression that I could ever think of. And it was so scary, waking up and not knowing if you were ever going to feel normal again. I couldn't feel like myself, and I didn't know if I was ever going to get back to that. But luckily, through this bakery, I was able to meet some of my best friends in the whole wide world. And their names are Brittany and Marilla. And they were just wonderful. And, we had this kind of bachelorette party before the wedding, and it was fantastic. And, after that, my spirits were lifted. And, leading up to the wedding, I kind of snapped out of depression. And ever since then, it's just been amazing. So eventually, after I started migrating out of depression, we started to get back on the horse and see what we could do about opening another store. What could we do to open Lindough Bakery? How do we get there? What do we do? And we just started trying store after store after store after store. And over the course of an entire year, we were this close to signing a lease for 6 different stores. And at the end of it all, it would just fall through and we would be left with nothing. And then we would have to start over again. And we tried almost every town, and we tried, every different style of location, and we tried to rearrange things. And I would just pray to God, not my will, but yours be done. And everything just kind of kept slipping through the cracks. And I had to think to myself, and I had to remember why I started this in the beginning, and it was to glorify God. And if it wasn't his time, then it wasn't his time. And so I just kept getting built up, that this was going to be it. This was going to be the new bakery. And then I would get let down. And my original plan for this month was to tell you all about how I was going to open a new bakery, and I had signed a lease. And then here we are a week later, and I'm making a completely different video. It's really emotional. So I'm going to be totally honest with you, because that's all I've ever been. And I really feel like it's the most important thing, again, because you guys are just amazing and you've been with me through it all. And I know there's a bunch of you out there who want to open your own business. So I feel like my honesty and my openness will help you to not make some of the same mistakes that I had made. So we did use every last resource and every last dollar, like I said, to open Clemson Confectionaries. So when it was time to open Lindough Bakery, there wasn't much left. So here comes the news. So of course, we want to open the most amazing bakery that we possibly can. Better than our wildest dreams, better than anything we could ever imagine. But right now, we're living in a bakery. Once Clemson Confectionaries closed down, we didn't have a spot to put the bakery, so we said, why not do another Aspen Heights style bakery and move it into our house? Well, we have 6 rooms in our house, and 3.5 of them are a bakery. And of course, Chris and I just got married, and it's really cool to have a bakery in your house when you are a single college student who doesn't really have any main priorities or anyone kind of living with you. And thank you for everyone who did live with me. That was really amazing of you, because wow, this is chaos. But anyway, our life is kind of chaos, and we constantly have things going on, and we have desserts flying out the front door, and there's powdered sugar all over our couches, and it's just become too much. And so yesterday we had to make a really hard decision, and we have decided that we are going to close the bakery down on October 31st. So what does this mean? This essentially means that we're closing down to continue working on Lindough Bakery, for the future of Lindough Bakery. And we have our cupcake dream jar here, and as soon as we can put something together and get everything settled and set, we do plan to open a new bakery. Whether that be in 4 months or 4 years, I don't know. I don't have any of the answers. We will still try. I'm not giving up. I can't give up. This has been my dream for forever, and I can't say goodbye this quickly. But I do know that in order to gain some sense of normalcy and, just to live a little bit of a normal life right now, I know that I have to give up the baking aspect. And I think I've had to record this like 10 times and not cry through it, so I'm gonna try to be really strong. But this is the hardest decision that I have ever, and I mean ever, had to make in my entire life, to actually close something and not know when I'm going to open back up. And realistically, I would love to say that I would open back up in 4 months, 6 months, 8 months, but unfortunately it might be 1, 2, 3 years. But I know that I have to trust God's timing, and in order to have a beautiful bakery, I need to be able to save and and just kind of go from there. And you know, maybe just the break is the best thing that we need right now. I don't have all the answers, and it's been eating me alive inside for such a long time, and I wish I knew God's plan. But I know deep down that even though I don't know all the details, I know that as a whole it's going to be magnificent. And maybe 2 years from now, Lindough Bakery will be the greatest bakery in South Carolina. And those are the things that I have to look forward to now. So October 31st is our last day for taking orders. After that, I will continue to keep all social media pages open to alert you when things are moving and if we have, you know, a new storefront in the works. And I don't know when that will be, but it'll be soon. Also, we're taking orders for September and October, and the deadline for all of those orders will be August 29th. So if you want a cake for the last 2 months, make sure that you text me before August 29th. I will try to have 4 pop-up shops before we close, so that way you can get all of the desserts that you're wanting. One of my last requests is that I would like to keep all of my recipes kind of sacred and private. So I'm asking that no one asks me for any of the recipes, just out of respect. I would like to keep those to myself and kind of cherish those. It's kind of one of the only things that really means a lot to me that I have left, especially since some of them are family recipes and recipes from my grandma and everything. So that is the video. How can you help? Some people have asked me, just pray. Pray that we have guidance. Pray that we have peace. Pray that the Lord helps us create this wonderful bakery on His time, and that we build something that is wonderful and accepting for all people, a place where someone can go to and they can do nothing but smile. That's all I've ever wanted, and I'm really excited. And I know this isn't the end, it's just a short goodbye, but I just wanted to let everybody know that October 31st is our last day. And until we meet again, from the bottom of my heart, the very bottom, thank you. I couldn't have done any of this without you. Have a sweet day.